Hello, I'm Shakti Durga. I'm an energy healer and a spiritual teacher. And as you can see by the lovely things on the shelves behind me, I really love spiritual books. I love crystals. I love candles. And I love the process of spirituality and how we can all develop as people when we realize that we actually have a spirit and that we have energy. So earlier on in my life, I didn't know any of this stuff. I wasn't born or raised with these kinds of awarenesses. I was an educated person who practiced law, and my legal practice spanned nearly 20 years, 16 of which was as a barrister, going to court for people day in, day out. And it was a career that I found very satisfying and really loved it. During that time, I went through a divorce, which was for me a life changing thing. I suppose divorce is life changing for everybody. But for me, I felt so stressed and so shocked, really, in a way, that I was going through this in my otherwise well ordered life that I wasn't sleeping well. I was caring for a 2-year-old as well as running my career. And so it was a very overwhelming time. And someone at work suggested that I go to learn meditation. And remember, this was the early 1990s. It wasn't our current era where people go, yeah, meditation, that's kind of normal. It was back in the 1990s. And so I went and learned meditation. And for me, it was really life changing. And I started meditating every day. And I found I could sleep. And sometimes I fell asleep in the middle of the meditation. And I thought that was fantastic. And so I still teach those kinds of meditations because lots of people are in the situation that I was in at that time of trying to juggle a whole lot of things in a really busy career with families, with finances, with everything that comes from our modern Western way of life. Then after all that was finished and you go through, I was in a new home and, being a bit tumultuous, and I got sick. I got bronchitis, and for 6 months, I was not able to get over a kind of a chronic bronchitis that I'd had. And that was quite debilitating. I was tired all the time trying to, work and look after my child. Anyway, again, someone said to me, why don't you go and try energy healing? And I thought it was the most stupid idea anyone had ever had. But then I thought, well, nothing else has worked. I might as well give it a go. So I did. And I went along to a lady in Balmain, don't think she's there anymore, and she gave me healing. And to my utter surprise, I was well within a couple of days. And she'd pulled a whole lot of energy of grief and suppressed joy out of my lungs. And they just got better. Well, this was something way outside my mental comfort zone. How can this happen? Nothing had prepared me for a reality where energy moves and you feel so radically different. And I've got to say, it was pretty tempting to pretend it hadn't happened and just go about my usual life. But my curiosity got the better of me, and I just really wanted to know what had happened. How was that possible? And so I started to look around for ways to learn about energy healing. And I found some amazing stuff. And over the years, I've studied in a lot of different countries with a lot of different teachers, both Eastern and Western traditions, shamanic traditions, all sorts of things to help the process of us coming into cleaner, clearer energy, where we feel better, where our vitality is more, and where we actually feel better about ourselves. We feel more peace in our life. And in the last, 10 years, particularly in the last 5 years for me, the feeling of peace and love and joy has got so loud internally in a way that it's become bliss. And when I say loud, it's just there all the time. And I never experienced that I'd have a life where if I think, how am I feeling? And I go within, the answer is, oh, I'm in bliss, And then I get on with my work and things happen and I'm dealing with people, helping a lot of people with their problems in their life. And so, of course, along the top of that, there's all these things going on and there's all the usual feelings and everything going on. But if I really tune in, the bliss is there. And it's become a bedrock of my life. And this is what igniting your spirit does. It helps us to move from a place where our general feeling is stress, which definitely was my beginning with all of this. The beginning place was stress. And you can move to a place, because if I can do it, I think anyone can, if you are shown how. You can move your life so much. And along the way, I think we change and evolve as people, and that our spirituality becomes something that's no longer theoretical. It's no longer something we're reading about in a book. It's something that we engage with every day, and that it enriches every single part of our life. There's nothing now in my life that I can think of at the moment that hasn't been in some way affected by my studies of energy healing and spirituality from both Eastern and Western sources. So I'm not really a big one for staying within a sort of an orthodox, dogmatic way of thinking about the world. I'm really more interested in the place where my soul meets the infinite, or my soul meets your soul. And it's a direct experiential reality that to me is so satisfying and makes my life, as I said before, much richer than it's ever been. And I sort of laugh sometimes when I think about if me in the 1980s, when I was sort of, busy being a very serious lawyer, met me now, I'm not sure that me in the 1980s would get me now, because I've changed so much. But I can tell you that the feeling of satisfaction and happiness is much greater now than it was then. It's been a journey, and that's a journey that for me has been very sacred. It's had its ups and downs. It's been really different to what I expected. But along the way, I've learned some incredible tools for how is it that we can have nicer lives. And I wanted to share some simple ways today for you to feel better by understanding your energy and where that's taking you and what's happening for you because of how you're holding your energy. So basically, I'm interested in how can the spiritual, I'll call it sciences, they're sort of meta sciences or metaphysics, how can these things help you if you're suffering from stress, overwork, being around negative people, if you've got financial issues, if you've got, health issues, then how can you utilize some spiritual tools to have a better time of it? So pretty much everything I teach has its root in that kind of practicality. And I've got to say, I've road tested hundreds and hundreds of different methods, philosophies, and so on, and distilled it into what I think is the most simple and effective. And for that, I'm so grateful that I had the legal training that I have to try and synthesize so many things into a simplicity that is easy to utilize straight away. So I thought we might start with something that's so basic that some people often overlook: the simplicity of the way we're breathing. In yoga, there's a whole science of breathing in yoga, and it's called pranayama. And the idea of it is that just by changing the way we breathe, we can affect the way we feel. We can affect the way energy is interacting with our mind and our body. And it can be a way that we can center ourselves and release a lot of the worries and hassles that we might be having and just come back to self. When we just come back to self, we find this peace. And as I say, the more you practice these things, the more it becomes, oh, well, it helped me go to sleep. And then, oh, it helped me feel a bit peaceful. There was less stress. And then there's actual peace. And then it ramps up to feeling joy and feeling blissful. So even these simple things can have a profound effect. So let's try a breath right now that's called 3-6 breathing. Not a very original name, but it's certainly effective at describing what we're going to do. And so the idea is that we breathe in through the nostrils to the count of 3, and then out through the mouth for the count of 6. And so the out breath is double the length of the in breath. And so as we're breathing in, we breathe in the count of 3 of clean, fresh energy from the environment we're in. And then for the 6, we're breathing out stress and anxiety. If you just think about it like that, I'm breathing in peace and I'm breathing out stress and anxiety. So that's going to be how we'll hold our consciousness or our mental focus while we do this breathing. And otherwise, just focus on the breath itself. So you can close your eyes and just breathe in for the count of 3 through the nostrils, and then out for 6, letting all the stress go. In for 3, out for 6. In for 3, out for 6. In for 3, and out for 6. In for 3, and out for 6. In for 3, and out for 6. We'll do it 2 more breaths. And then just noticing how you're feeling. How do you feel like your energy is feeling right now? Can you perceive any change inside yourself from when we started? All right, let's have a look at another way we can very simply connect to a whole lot of energy that's around us and really feel that we're more than just our mind, we're more than just the body that this consciousness is sitting in, that we really can connect with the grid of energy that is nature. You may have heard of things called ley lines that go around the earth. They're just lines of energy like meridians. In some places, it seems that plants grow really easily. You feel really empowered and alive and amazing when you're in those places. And other places, not so much. Just it's the way that it seems to be as we travel around the world. And anyway, that grid of energy can really feed us. It can give us a sense of nourishment. You know what it feels like when you go to the beach and you're just walking on the beach and you just feel better straight away. Or for other people, it's walking in a forest where it's just really old trees and you just get that sense of the calmness and the peace and the beauty of being in the forest. Or for me, I love being in mountains and just being in that alpine environment, and the air's really clear. And I don't know, there's just something different about the way you feel when you're in the mountains, and they're generally places of quite high energy, all of those places I've mentioned. So the earth contains this amazing kind of energy that nourishes us, and we can connect with that. And so we do it by our intention and by pulling that energy up through our feet and our body into your whole being. This is also very helpful if you are a person who suffers from feeling not very grounded, or you're someone who procrastinates a lot and you can't seem to make things happen. You can't get yourself started. Connecting to the earth, to me, can sometimes feel like putting a car in gear. Can you imagine, like when you get stressed, when you get anxious, you kind of step out of yourself in a way sometimes. You kind of step up above the grounded earthiness and you have that feeling like you're pushing the accelerator as hard as you can, but nothing's happening, and that's because you're still in park, you know. But when we put it in drive, then boom, we shoot ahead. So for me, plugging into the earth is an exercise you can do, which helps you to get into the present time space of I can do something. There's always going to be a way forward. I feel grounded. I feel practical. And I feel like, yep, I can get on with what I need to do. That's how it affects me. Let's see how it goes for you. It's also very peace inducing as well. So just take another breath in. Breathing down through your body. This is imagine you can breathe down through your body and connect with the earth itself. You do this through your intention, and you imagine that your nerves, which have an energetic component, are going not just down through your body, but right down through the base of your spine and into the earth. That your whole nervous system is just connecting with the earth, and that the energetic nervous system, which is called meridians, which are non-physical but connected nonetheless inside of us, it's just connecting into the earth. And imagine that the meridians from your body, from the base of your spine, from the cauda equinus at the base of your spine, which is where a lot of there's a lot of nerves there. Imagine that they're just going right down into the earth, about 30 meters down into the earth. And then imagine with the in-breath, you can just pull the calmness of the earth up through your body and into the base of your spine. Hold it. And then with the out-breath, imagine you can push those nerves and lines of light right down into the earth, plugging in to the serenity and peacefulness of the earth. And then draw the earth's energy up through these meridians into the base of your spine, and then draw it right up to your head region. Just relaxing for a moment. Take your awareness again to the base of the spine. Draw the breath in and send energy, your own meridian system. Imagine it's going down into the earth, connecting like roots of a tree, unfolding into the earth, right down into the stillness of the rock beneath you. And you can do this even in a high-rise apartment. I've even done it in an airplane. Right down into the earth. And then pulling the calmness of the earth up into the base of your spine. Really connecting it in there. And then with your out-breath, push down into the earth again. With your in-breath, breathe up from the earth into the base of the spine area. Do that a few more times. It's like you're pumping the earth's calmness up into you. And really focus in the base of your spine and think to yourself, I'm grounded and connected. I'm one with nature. I'm one with the earth. I'm grounded and practical. And all is well in my world. And then as you breathe in, focus on the base of your spine. And with the out breath, imagine the energy can come all the way up through your back area, all the way up to your head. And just feeling the calmness that this brings. And the sense of being connected, strengthened, and ready for whatever's coming next. And then just notice how you're feeling. Remember, this may be the first time you've done something like this. You might want to repeat these practices a couple of times. And the more you repeat them, the easier it becomes. It's less you're thinking about it and more you're just relaxing into doing it. And with that relaxation, it's kind of a form of energy meditation, I suppose you could say. It will really help you to feel better about what's going on. We can change the emphasis in this little practice we just did and expand it a little. so that we call it the pillar of light. And the pillar of light means I'm not going to just connect into the earth as we just did, but I'm going to go right up through my being, through the crown chakra or the energy center on the top of the head. I'm going to intend that my energy reaches way up above, that it connects with however you perceive the source of everything good, the source of light, of love, of connectedness, that which makes the universe spin. For some, it would be Jehovah, for some, Allah, for some, Durga, or the infinite, whatever you want to call the divine, uh, the power of nature, whatever your thing is, just connect with that. And so we start in our heart chakra. You might want to just touch the center of your chest to bring your awareness into that part of you, the place that feels love and compassion and empathy, where you register all of that. And having brought your awareness into your heart, with the next out breath, send love upwards. The energy of love, send it up through the top of your head. Intend that it's being sent up a long pillar of light to the infinite. And then imagine that the infinite sends this huge pulse of loving energy down to you. Like it'll look like milk being poured down, or white energy coming all the way down through the top of your head, bathing your whole body, mind, and spirit in this delicious, white, silky, soft energy. Take it right down through your body, take it out through the base of your spine, and offer it down into the earth as a gift to Mother Nature. And as the divine created nature, the creator is always in its creation. So feeling for the divine energy in the earth itself, we connected with it earlier, the peacefulness, the love, the calmness, and draw that energy from the base up through your base chakra, right the way up your body, and releasing through the top of the head, sending it upwards. Let that energy go all the way up to the infinite, however you perceive that. And then with the in-breath, pull the energy down from the infinite with a big thank you. Thank you for the blessing. Thank you for all the energy that is pouring into me right now, and flushing out, releasing downwards any stress, any negative energy. Just send it all down into the earth grid where it gets neutralized and turned into just calmness again. The energy transforms. And pulling the calmness of the earth up through your feet, imagine you can just breathe it up through the base of the spine area, up through your body, releasing upwards. Send it up to the infinite. And then pull it down once more, the light energy from the infinite, pulling it down through you till you resemble a pillar of light. That your body is part of this pillar, but it exists way above you and below you, connecting the highest point of light through you to the core of the earth itself. And you can just breathe in from the earth up through your body for the calmness, and send that up as a gift to the infinite with our love. And you can call on the strength and the inspiration of the infinite from above. Pull it down, inspire that energy, breathe it in, and bring it into the center of your chest, in the heart area. To finish the practice, you just let that energy swirl in your heart and ask to be inspired to be the best person you can be, to be the most loving and wise, illumined, patient and kind person you can be. And just centering yourself in the center of love, which is in the chest, the heart area, and feeling that lovely, peaceful energy, which is you. It's the core of you, the energy of your own higher soul, waking up through the door to the soul, which is your heart. And then just gently bring your awareness back into the physical focus. And just noting how you feel after that simple practice. So that's 3 very simple and yet effective tools for you to utilize anytime you like. You can do them multiple times a day if you want to. They're suitable for anyone of any faith. They're suitable for everyone. And they'll help you to become calmer and to ignite your spirit. These form a foundation of many other practices to come. And if you're interested in these things and you'd like to know more, I'll be teaching Ignite Your Spirit as a 3-day seminar from the 2nd to the 4th of December, which is not long away. And I'll be doing that in Kurrumbong, which is 1 hour north of Sydney. It's a very beautiful place. We have some accommodation at our centre here, and I'm sure it'll be a lovely weekend. It's okay if you can just come to the first 2 days because you have to go to work on the 3rd day. You'll still benefit enormously from the seminar. There'll be lots of healing, meditations, activations, some music, very enjoyable kind of thing. Meet lovely people. So until we next meet, I hope you'll enjoy practicing these spiritual practices. And just a reminder too, that the work we do is offered by donation, which means that it's given from our hearts as a gift to you. And then your own goodness, your own sense of fairness determines what is the appropriate way to say thank you for this. And people do give generously for our work because it's a very high quality and it changes people's lives. Anyway, I look forward to meeting you, perhaps on the inner plane and perhaps in person. Namaste.